From voice of authority to a look that matches your target market, there are many reasons to hire an on-screen spokesperson. Every month, professional actor and spokesperson Grant Holmes works for many organizations, and in this series, Speaking for You, Grant will lead us through the how and what is involved in using a virtual host or green screen talent. Here's our host, Grant Holmes.
Have you ever made one simple change to your computer and it seems like everything else changes? That. Oh, good morning. Speaking to You, episode 8. Man, it's been a fun morning already with sound and sound settings. Hopefully this one will come out better. This is take number 3 or 4 now, and trying to get it right. So what happens when you need a Russian spy or Australian outback gator wrestler or a cowboy from Texas to do your role? Well, the first easy, albeit more expensive way is to go hire exactly that. But, depending on your budget, and that just might not work. And finding retired Russian spies just isn't easy as it used to be. Facebook Marketplace? Probably not. In an earlier episode, I alluded to character actors. And in that context, we're talking about most any non-lead role in the movie, book, whatever. These are the roles that interact and support the main roles. And in this episode, I'm not talking about that kind of character, although it's certainly related. In this case, you need to not only find a Russian accent, but someone that can embody the way we think of Russian spy, the way they might sound or act. Is he or she secretive? Are they full of swagger? For any character. Years ago, I was a busy corporate trainer, and I did a lot of keynote speaking. And in 2 instances, I used a character to deliver the message. And in this case, it was an Australian outbacker and a Russian spy. It was a challenge for me to pull that off. So that's one of the reasons I enjoyed doing it. It was just fun. And it made it fun for the audience and interesting for them too. And I'd like to say that it made me memorable, but who knows, good or bad, right? Anyhow. For the most part, I could hold that character for 45 minutes or so, and that was with a lot of practice. So here's the point of all this. The actor you choose must be able to hold a character for the duration of the work. What does hold character mean? A few times early in the doing of this, I'd have a friend that would pull me aside and say, "Hey, you slipped out of your accent there on that last paragraph or at a certain point. Dang it." I've got a good friend that did a character spot last year. Don't remember now what. But she was from New York, and she didn't have a hard Brooklyn accent or anything. But at the end of some of her sentences, at the end of some of her words, the nuance of that accent would fade, and the way she normally talks would come in. Thus, it wasn't believable. That's the holding the part, holding the character. That's the important part. So what to do? Audition the actor. But here's the tough part. We know that we have to audition to get work. We know that we don't get paid for auditions. We know that. But often we feel taken advantage of. Can you audition this entire 5-minute script? No, not so much. In 20 or 30 seconds, likely less, you'll know whether you like that voice, the look, so on. Whittle those auditions down to 2 or 3 actors that you'd like to work with. Then pay them less than a going rate, but for the time, just for the 5-minute script or whatever. That's plenty of time to make sure that they can hold a character for that entire piece of work. If the actors were nervous about it, ask them to watermark it. That way they can trust that it's not going to get used. Yeah, that happens. Anyhow, you'll still know whether they can do the character or not. Then pay that actor appropriate industry rates to do the work. It will be worth the final result. See you in the next episode. Hope this helped.
Thanks for watching Speaking for You with Grant Holmes. Stop back.